Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your kind association. Let's get started. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati iti namine. Shri Varshavanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha. Madhuryojvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute. Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Apasiddhanta Dvantaharine. Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagyamurtaye Vipralambha Rasambodhe Padambujayate Namaha. Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestvam Nirdeshta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathayate Namaha. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadādhara Śrīvāsādi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Uddama Bhava Pishuna Malavalguhasa Vridavaloka Madano Piyasa Sammuya Chapamajahat Pramadottamasta Yasyendriyam Vimathitum Kuhakarna Shekuhu. Although the queen's beautiful smiles and furtive glances were all spotless and exciting, and although they could conquer Cupid himself by making him give up his bow in frustration, and although even the most tolerant Lord Shiva could fall victim to them, still, despite all their magical feats and attractions, they could not agitate the senses of Lord Krishna. Bhavadvidha Bhāgavata Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani Swantahastena Gadabhrita. My Lord, devotees like your good self are verily holy places personified. Because you carry personality of Godhead Krishna within your heart, you turn all places into places of pilgrimage. Tulayamalave napi na swargam na punarbhavam bhagavat sangi sangasya martyanam kimutashishaha. The value of a moment's association with the devotee of Lord Krishna cannot even be compared to the attainment of heavenly planets or liberation from matter. And what to speak of worldly benedictions in the form of material prosperity, which are for those who are meant for death. Tiraskrita vipralabdhaha kshapta kshipta hata api nasyatat pratikurvanti tad bhaktaha prabhavopihi. The devotees of Lord Krishna are so forbearing that even though they are defamed, cheated, cursed, disturbed, neglected, or even killed, they are never inclined to avenge themselves. Punascha bhuyad bhagavatante rati prasangascha tad ashrayeshu mahatsu yam upayami shrishtim maitrastu sarvatra namo dvijebhyah. Again, offering obeisances unto all of you Brahmanas, I pray that if I should again take my birth in the material world, I will have complete attachment to the unlimited Lord Krishna, association of Krishna's devotees, and friendly relations with all living beings. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your kind association. Let us continue our study of Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 11, entitled Lord Krishna's Entrance in Sri Dwarka, text number 16 and 17 onwards. So far, we have seen how Lord Krishna was welcomed in Dwarka. And that description continues. People ran out to have darshan of Shri Krishna. The whole city was decorated very auspiciously. And let's see what happens after that. Nishamya preshtham ayantam vasudevo mahamanaha akruras chograse nascha ramaschadbhuta vikramaha pradyumnascharudeshnascha sambo jambavati sutaha praharsha vegochashi tashayanasana bhojanaha. Translations and purports by our beloved founder Acharya, Nitya Leela Pravishtha, Om Vishnupad, Shri Śrīmad, Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Shri Suta Goswami is giving this description to Shaunak Adi Rishis at Naimisharanya. Srila Suta Goswami is describing Krishna's entrance in Dwarka. On hearing that the most dear Krishna, Preshtham, Krishna is Preshtham, very dear to the Dwarkavasis. And who is dear to Krishna? Srila Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, all our acharyas, they are very dear to Krishna. Sadhavo Hridayam Mayam. On hearing that the most dear Krishna was approaching Dwarka Dham, magnanimous Vasudevo Mahamana, the great magnanimous Vasudeva Maharaj, Akrur, Ugrasen, Balaram, who is superhumanly powerful, Ramas Chadbhuta Vikrama, Adbhut Vikrama, Balaramji, Pradyumna, Charudeshna, Samb, who is the son of Shri Jambavati, all extremely happy. Praharsha, Prakrishta Rupena, Harshita. Very happy, extremely happy. Praharshita. And what did they do? They gave up their shayan, asan, bhojan. Some of them were lying down, some of them were sitting, some of them were eating. They abandoned all that. All extremely happy, abandoned resting, sitting and dining. And they came to meet Krishna, Preshtham, their dear Krishna. On hearing that the most dear Krishna was approaching Dwarka Dham, magnanimous Vasudev, Akrur, Ugrasen, Balram, the superhumanly powerful, Pradyumna, Charudeshna, and Sam, son of Jambavati, all extremely happy, abandoned resting, sitting, and dining. Purport. Srila Prabhupada describes all these personalities, and we will see it is important to know about these personalities. Vasudev. Srila Prabhupada writes, Shri Vasudev Maharaj, son of King Shurasen. Therefore, Krishna is called Shauri. He is a descendant of King Shurasen. Shurasen Maharaj's son was Vasudeva Maharaj, the father of Krishna. So Vasudev, son of King Shurasen, and Vasudev Maharaj is husband of Devaki. And Vasudeva Maharaj is the father of Lord Shri Krishna. Vasudev Maharaj is the brother of Shri Kunti Devi. And Vasudeva Maharaj is the father of Shrimati Subhadra Devi. See how many relations are given. Vasudev. Now Subhadra Devi was married with her cousin Arjun. Now please raise your hand and explain to me how Subhadra was married to her cousin Arjun. Like how Arjun is the cousin of Subhadra. I'm counting till 3. Okay, Ramsham Prabhu, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
So
Krishna.
Arjun is the son of Kunti Maharani, and Kunti Maharani is the sister of Vasudev.
Very good. Very good.
And and
Correct,
then
correct.
Subhadra is the daughter of
That's
Vasudev.
why Subhadra and Arjun are cousins.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Srila Prabhupada writes something interesting. Subhadra was married with her cousin Arjun, and this system is still prevalent in some parts of India. In some parts of India, even today, marriage happens between cousins. Vasudev was appointed minister of Maharaj Ugrasen. So there is one king called Maharaj Ugrasen, and his minister is Vasudev. And later on, Vasudev married 8 daughters of King Ugrasen's brother Devaka. So I understand in the family tree, there is one king, Maharaj Ugrasen. He has a brother called Devaka. And Devaka has 8 daughters. One of them is Devaki. And Vasudev, who is a minister of Maharaj Ugrasen, marries Maharaj Ugrasen's brother Devaka's 8 daughters. Devaki is only one of them. There are 8 daughters. One of them is Devaki. Daughters of Devaka, who is the brother of Ugrasen Maharaj. Kamsa was Vasudev's brother-in-law, because Kamsa is the son of Ugrasen. So he is the cousin brother of Devaki. So Ugrasen, his son is Kamsa. Ugrasen's brother is Devaka. Devaka's daughter is Devaki, who got married to Vasudeva Maharaj. Further down in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, when Krishna appeared within the jail of Kamsa, he was transferred to Gokul Vrindavan by Vasudeva at the house of Nanda Maharaj. And Nanda Maharaj became the foster father of Krishna. Krishna disappeared along with Baladev prior to the disappearance of Vasudeva Maharaj. So Krishna and Balram, they performed their disappearance pastime before the passing away of Vasudeva Maharaj. And then Arjun, who is the nephew, because Vasudeva's sister is Kunti, Kunti's son is Arjun. So Arjun, who is the nephew of Vasudeva, undertook the charge of the funeral ceremony after his disappearance. So when Vasudeva Maharaj passed away, Krishna and Balram were not there. Normally the sons perform funeral ceremony. So who performed? Arjun performed. Such a difficult service, isn't it? Painful service. Arjun performed. Okay, that's about Vasudev. Now let's go to Akrur. Akrur is the commander-in-chief of the Vrishni dynasty and a great devotee of Lord Krishna. Akrur attained success in devotional service of Lord Krishna by practicing one single process. There is Navavida Bhakti. Bhaktischa Nava Lakshana. 9 types of devotional service. And Akrur followed just one of them. What is that? Vandanam. Vandanam. Offering prayers. Akrur was the husband of Sutani. Sutani is the daughter of Ahuka. Akrur supported Arjun when Arjun took Subhadra forcibly away by the will of Krishna. Yes, Krishna arranged that Arjun will kidnap Subhadra Devi to get married, because Balramji wanted Subhadra to get married to Duryodhana. So Krishna got Arjun to kidnap, and Akrur supported Arjun in that plan. He was a great devotee. So Akrur was married to Sutani, who was the daughter of Ahuka. Ahuka, who is the father-in-law of Akrur, was not on good terms with Akrur. But both of them were devotees of Lord Krishna. Srila Prabhupada writes. Sometimes happens. 2 devotees of Lord Krishna may not be on good terms with each other. So what we should do? We should give them their space so that both of them can perform their bhakti peacefully. There's another example of this in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam in the Sagar Manthan Leela. When Krishna comes there, sitting on the back of Garudji, there is Vasuki, the big gigantic snake who is being used as a rope to churn Mount Mandar. So Vasuki is there and Garudji comes. Now Vasuki is a snake, which is the natural food for Garudji. So what does Krishna do? Krishna comes there on the back of Garudji and he tells Garudji, now you go. Don't stay here. Because there may be a fight between Vasuki and Garudji. You go. If I need you, I'll call you. Like that. So Krishna is teaching us that sometimes in a society, it may be possible that 2 people may not get along and both are devotees of Krishna. Happens sometimes. And we have to give them space so both of them can do their service nicely. Next is Ugrasen. Ugrasen Maharaj. One of the powerful kings of the Vrishni dynasty and cousin of Maharaj Kunti Bhoj. Maharaj Kunti Bhoj, cousin is Ugrasen. His other name is Ahuka. His minister was Vasudev, we already saw that. And his son was the powerful Kamsa. So Kamsa was the son of Maharaj Ugrasen. This Kamsa imprisoned his father Ugrasen and became king of Mathura. By the grace of Krishna and Balram, Kamsa was killed and Ugrasen Maharaj was reinstalled on the throne. Srila Prabhupada writes that Ugrasen Maharaj fought very valiantly with Shalva when he attacked Dwarka. And Ugrasen also received transcendental knowledge from Shripad Narad Muni. And he got salvation after his death. Next is Baladev. Lord Balaram is the divine son of Vasudev by his wife Shri Rohini Devi. Therefore, Baladev is also known as Rohini Nandan, the beloved son of Rohini. Baladev was also entrusted to Nanda Maharaj, along with his mother Rohini, when Vasudev embraced imprisonment by mutual agreement with Kamsa. So Vasudev Maharaj was in prison with his wife Devaki, and he had other wives also. So one of them was Rohini, and Vasudev Maharaj arranged for Rohini to be at Gokul under the care of Shri Nanda and Yashoda. So Rohini grew up. Rohini spent many years in Vrindavan. So Nanda Maharaj was also the foster father of Baladev along with Lord Krishna, because both Krishna and Balram, they were under the care of Nanda Maharaj. Both were sons of Vasudev. Balaram is the plenary manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Sarva Avatari Krishna Swayam Bhagavan Tahara Dvitiya Deha Shri Balaram. Therefore, Balaram is as good and as powerful as Lord Krishna. He belongs to Vishnu Tattva category, personality of Godhead. Balramji, along with Krishna, attended the Swayamvar ceremony of Draupadi Devi, where Arjun got married to Draupadi Devi. Balram attended the Swayamvar ceremony of Draupadi when Subhadra Devi was kidnapped by Arjun by the organized plan of Shri Krishna. Baladev was very angry with Arjun and wanted to kill Arjun at once. Shri Krishna, for the sake of his dear friend Arjun, fell at the feet of Lord Baladev and implored him not to be so angry. So Balramji was satisfied. He gave up his anger. So Balramji wanted to kill Arjun because Arjun married Subhadra when Balramji was wanting Subhadra to marry Duryodhana. Okay? So Balramji wanted to kill Arjun. Now let's see who else Balramji wants to kill. Balramji was once very angry with the Kauravas and he wanted to throw the whole city into the depths of the Yamuna. But the Kauravas satisfied him by surrendering unto his divine lotus feet. So Balramji wanted to kill all the Kauravas also, all the 100 brothers. Okay. So Balramji wants to kill Arjun, he wants to kill the 100 Kauravas. In the Vedas also it is enjoined that no one can know the Supreme Lord without being favored by Balaram. Srila Prabhupada says we cannot understand Krishna without the mercy of Balaram. Bala means spiritual strength and not physical. Balaramji gives spiritual strength. So we want to wake up in the morning, we want to chant our Brahma Murta Japa, do our morning program, we want to worship Radha and Krishna, Gaur Nitai, Jagannath at home. We want to follow the 4 regulative principles. We want to serve. To do all these things, we need spiritual strength, isn't it? Doesn't it require spiritual strength to chant with focus, with attention during Brahma Murta, to do Niyam Seva? Everything requires spiritual strength. And Balaramji or Nityananda Prabhu gives us this spiritual strength. So Balaram, Nityananda Ram, they give us spiritual strength. Srila Prabhupada says that some less intelligent persons interpret Bala as physical strength. It's not physical strength, it's spiritual strength. The strength is eternal. And thus Balaram is the original spiritual master of all devotees because he gives spiritual strength, his source of our spiritual strength. Bhakti Shakti, Balaramji gives. Bhakti Shakti. So he is the original spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada says Balaramji also was with Krishna as a student of Sandipani Muni. He also killed many demons, specifically Dhenukasur. When there was a club fight between Duryodhan and Bhimsen, Balramji was present on that spot. Balramji was angry at Bhim when Bhim struck Duryodhan on the thigh, which is below the belt. And Balramji wanted to retaliate the unfair action. He wanted to kill Bhim. Lord Krishna saved Bhim from the wrath of Balramji. So Balramji wanted to kill Arjun, Balramji wanted to kill Bhim, Balramji wanted to kill all the 100 brothers. Therefore, it is said that very difficult to understand Balramji or Nityananda Prabhu. Their actions are very unpredictable. Similarly, Guru is also very unpredictable. We cannot understand Guru. The funeral ceremony, now see, this is very marmic, very touching. The funeral ceremony of Abhimanyu, the son of Arjuna and Subhadra. Arjuna and Subhadra's son is Abhimanyu. The funeral ceremony of Abhimanyu was performed by Balaram, as he was the maternal uncle. At the last stage, Balaram departed from this world by producing a great white snake from his mouth, and thus he was carried by Ananta Sheshnag to the spiritual world. So Balramji is no ordinary person, he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Next is Pradyumna. Pradyumna is incarnation of Kamdev, or according to others, he is an incarnation of Sanat Kumar, one of the Chatush Kumar, Sanat Kumar. Pradyumna was born as the son of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, and the Supreme Goddess of Fortune, Srimati Rukmini Devi, the principal queen at Dwarka. So Rukmini and Krishna's son is Pradyumna, incarnation of Kamdev or Sanat Kumar. He was one of the great generals who fought with Shalva. And while fighting with him, he became unconscious on the battlefield. His charioteer brought him back to the camp from the battlefield. For this action, he was very sorry and rebuked his charioteer. He went back, fought with Shalva, and killed him. He was victorious. This is all there in 10th Canto, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Pradyumna is one of the 4 plenary expansions, Amsha avatars of Lord Krishna. He is the 3rd one. Vasudev, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, and then Aniruddha. 3rd one is Pradyumna, the Chaturvya. During the fratricidal war amongst the descendants of Yadu, Pradyumna died at the hand of Bhoja, another king of the Vrishnis. After his death, Pradyumna was installed in his original position as Vishnumurti. Pradyumna. Next is Charudeshna. Charudeshna is another son of Lord Krishna in Rukmini. Next is Samb. Samb is very famous. One of the great heroes of the Yadu dynasty and the son of Lord Krishna with his wife Jambavati. Samb learned military art of shooting arrows from Arjun. He was there for Yudhishthira Maharaj's Rajasoya Yajna. Samb was presented before some rishis like Durvasa Muni, Narad Muni, falsely dressed as a pregnant woman by his brothers. Yes, the Yadus, they played a trick. And in fun, he asked the rishis whether he was going to deliver a boy or a girl. This is there in the 11th canto. The rishis replied that he would deliver a lump of iron, which would be the cause of fratricidal war in the family of Yadus. Samb delivered a large lump of iron. It was taken to Maharaj Ugrasen, who ground it into small pieces, threw it. But then, of course, we know there was a war at Prabhas Kshetra, and Samb died in that war. Next paragraph. So, all these sons of Lord Krishna left their respective palaces and leaving aside all engagements like sleeping, sitting, eating. And they hastily went towards their exalted father, Shri Krishna. So in short, all these great personalities, they went to meet Krishna as Krishna is entering Dwarka. Text 18. Varanendram puraskritya brahmanaihi sasumangalaihi shankhaturya ninadena brahma ghoshena chadritaha pratyujjag murathair hrishtaha pranayagata sadvasaha. They hastened towards Lord Krishna on chariots with brahmanas bearing flowers. Before them were elephants, emblems of good fortune. Conch shells and bugles were sounded, and Vedic hymns were chanted. Brahma Ghoshena Chadrita. Vedic hymns were chanted by the brahmanas. Thus, they offered their respects, which were saturated with affection. Pranaya gataha. Pranaya means love, affection. So they offered respect, but that respect was not dry respect, it was with affection. Purport. The Vedic way of receiving a great personality creates an atmosphere of respect which is saturated with affection. Both are required. There should be affection in the heart, and there should be respect in the behavior. Both are required. Such a program, last sentence, such a program of reception is full of sincerity, both on the part of receiver and the received. The person who is being respected and the person who is offering respect. Both are doing it with full sincerity. Respect as well as affection is there. Text 19. Varamukhyascha shatasho yanayastad darshanotsukaha lasat kundala nirbhata kapola vadana shriyaha. At the same time, many hundreds of well-known prostitutes, Varamukhyaha, prostitutes, began to proceed on various vehicles. The prostitutes also had vehicles. They were all very eager to meet Lord Krishna, and their beautiful faces were decorated with dazzling earrings, which enhanced the beauty of their foreheads. Kapola Vadana Shriyaha. So, Vasudev Maharaj, Ugrasen Maharaj, Akrur, Balram, Pradyumna, Samb, they all went to meet Krishna. All the men, they went to meet Krishna along the road. But also, all the citizens came to meet Krishna and greet him and welcome Krishna. And among the citizens, there were some well-known prostitutes. Let's see what Srila Prabhupada says. We may not hate even the prostitutes if they are devotees of Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna. Even to date, there are many prostitutes in great cities of India who are sincerely devotees of Lord Krishna. By tricks of chance, one may be obliged to adopt a profession which is not very adorable in society, but that does not hamper one in executing devotional service to Lord Krishna. Devotional service to Lord Krishna is uncheckable in all circumstances. Can you give me some examples from the scriptures and Vaishnava history of prostitutes? Shama Vallavi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Bilva Mangal Thakur and Chintamani.
Okay, very good. Parima Mataji, go ahead.
Prabhuji, I've heard about Pingala.
Very good. Excellent. Shantaradhika Mataji, one example.
वो हरिदास ठाकुर के पास वैश्य आई थी.
Yes, Lakshahira, who became Haridasi. Very good. Anyone else? Ajay Govind Prabhu, you have one more?
Ajamil was also attracted to one of the prostitutes.
Yes, Ajamil also was attracted to one of the prostitutes. Vaishya. Very nice. Thank you, dear devotees. See how much we are able to churn by discussion. So yes, sometimes Prabhupada writes a very beautiful sentence. Look at Prabhupada's magnanimous nature. By tricks of chance, one may be obliged to adopt a profession which is not very adorable in society, but that does not hamper one in executing devotional service to Lord Krishna. How hope-giving. One may be a prostitute. It's an abominable profession. You are breaking the regulative principles. It is a sinful profession. But Srila Prabhupada says, sometimes even a prostitute may be a devotee. And there is no impediment in performing bhakti. Anybody can perform bhakti. It is understood herein that even in those days, about 5,000 years ago, there were prostitutes in a city like Dwarka where Lord Krishna resided. Prabhupada is saying. This means that prostitutes are necessary citizens for the proper upkeep of society. Men who are not satisfied at home, men who are not sexually satisfied at home, require such concessions like prostitutes. And if there is no prostitute, then such low men will induce other women into prostitution. It is better that prostitutes be available in the marketplace so that the sanctity of society can be maintained. It is better to maintain a class of prostitutes than to encourage prostitutes within society. The real reformation is to enlighten all people to become devotees of Lord Krishna. And that will check all kinds of deteriorating factors of life. Yes. For a certain class of low people, people who are not spiritually advanced, prostitutes may be required to vent their unfulfilled sexual desires. Otherwise, they will create nuisance for respectable ladies in society. This is a practical problem. And our Vedic culture gives us a practical solution. But Srila Prabhupada, being a perfect Acharya, always will talk about the ultimate solution also. And Srila Prabhupada, sure enough, writes here in the purport, end of the paragraph, the real reformation is to enlighten all people. The people who are going to the prostitutes, the woman hunters, and the prostitutes themselves. All people to become devotees of Lord Krishna. And that will check all kinds of deterioration in society. Shri Bilvamangal Thakur, a great Acharya of the Vishnu Swami Vaishnava sect, in his householder life was overly attached to a prostitute, Chintamani, who happened to be a devotee of Lord Krishna. Chintamani was a prostitute, but she was a devotee of Lord Krishna. Prabhupada says, devotee of Lord Krishna. One night, when Bilvamangal Thakur came to Chintamani's house in torrents of rain and thunder, Chintamani was astonished to see how the Thakur could come on such a dreadful night after crossing a foaming, flooding river, which was full of waves. Chintamani said to Sri Bilvamangal Thakur that his attraction for the flesh and bone of an insignificant woman like her would be properly utilized if it could be diverted to devotional service of Lord Krishna, to achieve attraction for the transcendental beauty of Lord Krishna. Nice instruction. This was a momentous hour for the Thakur, and he took a turn towards spiritual realization by the words of the prostitute Chintamani. Later on, Sri Bilvamangal Thakur accepted the prostitute as one of his spiritual masters, Vartama Pradarshak Guru. And in several places of his literary works, he has glorified the name of Chintamani, who showed him the right path. Chintamanir jayati soma girir gurur me shiksha guruscha bhagavan shikhipicha maule. The first verse of Krishna Karanamrit, the first word is Chintamani. Chintamanir jayati. All glories to Chintamani. And Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu relished Sri Krishna Karanamrit. In the Bhagavad Gita 9.32, Lord Krishna says, O son of Pritha, even the low-born Chandalas and those who are born in families of unbelievers, non-believers, atheists, even the prostitutes, they can attain perfection if they take shelter of unalloyed devotional service to you. Because devotional service leads to perfection. It appears that the prostitutes of Dwarka, who were so eager to meet Lord Krishna, were all his unalloyed devotees. And thus, they were all on the path of salvation, according to the above version of the Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, the only reformation that is necessary in society is to make an organized effort to turn all the citizens into devotees of Lord Krishna. And thus, all good qualities of the denizens of heaven will overtake them in their own way. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavat akinchana. Sarva gunaya. All the good qualities of the suras, of the devatas will come in a person who is a devotee of Krishna. On the other hand, those who are non-devotees have no good qualifications whatsoever. That's a fact. If one is not a devotee of Krishna, one has no good qualities. The devotees of Lord Krishna are on the path of liberation, whereas the non-devotees are on the path of further entanglement in material bondage. Srila Prabhupada would tell the story of a prostitute who used to feel great remorse about her profession. And always she used to chant Hare Krishna and feel guilty. When will I be delivered? When will I be delivered? And across the street lived a Brahman who used to always criticize her. Unfortunately, one of my neighbor just lives across the road from my house. She's contaminating the whole area because she's a prostitute. He would always criticize her. When both of them died, the prostitute went back to Godhead because she was always chanting Hare Krishna and she genuinely was repenting her sinful profession. Whereas the Brahman, he was taken by Yamdutas for punishment. Why? Because he was committing Vaishnava Aparadha. He was unnecessarily criticizing a Vaishnavi. Anyone who chants Hare Krishna is a devotee, is a Vaishnava. So like that. Srila Prabhupada says that it appears that the prostitutes of Dwarka were all eager to meet Krishna and therefore they were unalloyed devotees. They were all on the path of salvation. Text 20. Nata nartaka gandharvaha suta magadha vandinaha gayanti chottama shloka charitan adbhutani cha. Wow. Very beautiful verse. Expert dramatists, artists, dancers, singers, historians, genealogists, and learned speakers all gave their respective contributions, being inspired by the superhuman pastimes of Lord Krishna. Thus they proceeded on and on. So see different categories of people who are coming to greet Krishna, to welcome Krishna. Artists, dancers, singers, dramatists. Purport. It appears that 5,000 years ago, the society also needed the services of the dramatists, artists, dancers, singers, historians, genealogists, public speakers, etc. But what is the difference? Dancers, singers, dramatic artists mostly hailed from the Shudra community, whereas the learned historians, genealogists, and public speakers hailed from Brahman communities. But such dramatists, dancers, singers, historians, genealogists, and public speakers would dwell on the subject of Lord Krishna's superhuman activities in different ages and millenniums, and not on ordinary events. So this thing that the dramatists, the actors, public speakers doing Bollywood and Hollywood and all these things, this is a recent Kali Yuga contamination. In fact, even just few hundred years ago, all poetry was exclusively written in relationship to Krishna and Ram, like that. All dramatic performances would be Ram Leela, Ras Leela, Krishna Leela in the villages. But then with the influence of foreigners, invaders, Muslims and Christians, this Vedic culture got slowly obliterated. And now we are glamorizing, glorifying Hollywood and Bollywood movie stars who have nothing to do with Krishna consciousness. And they get much higher salary than the soldiers, the law enforcement, police, the teachers who are actually useful. Tell me, what use are the Bollywood actors and actresses or the Hollywood actors. And what good do they do to society through their profession? They're simply encouraging people to break the regulative principles, because that's what they do on screen. They break the 4 regulative principles, inspiring people to drink, have sex, and enjoy. So, and they are the highest paid professionals and most glamorized. This is Kali Yuga. What to do? Srila Prabhupada is educating us that previously all these public speakers, dramatists, dancers, singers, historians, they would all speak about topics of Krishna. Udara Charita, Krishna's magnanimous characters. Urukrama, his superhuman activities. All the Puranas are historical facts described only in relation with the Supreme Lord, Krishna, in different ages and times, as well as on different planets also. Therefore, we do not find any chronological order in them. Yes, our scriptures are not in chronological order. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam describes so many stories in the 12 cantos, but they are not in chronological order. But they are all teaching us beautiful Siddhanta, Bhakti Siddhanta, in relationship to Krishna, Krishna Bhakti. The modern historians therefore cannot catch up the link, and thus they unauthoritatively remark that the Puranas are all imaginary stories only, because they cannot find chronology, because they are not written chronologically. They are just written to give us spiritual lessons. Chronology is not important. Even 100 years ago in India, so Srila Prabhupada is writing this in the 1960s. So that means 100 years before that, all dramatic performances were centered around the superhuman activities of Lord Krishna. Yes, we saw that. Text 21. Bhagavam statra bandhunam pauranam anuvartinam yathavid upasangamya sarvesham manam adade. Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, approached them and offered due honor and respect to each and every one of the friends, relatives, citizens, and all others who came to receive and welcome him. How beautiful is this? So many family members, relatives, friends, citizens came to receive and welcome Lord Krishna as Lord Krishna is entering Dwarka. And what is Lord Krishna doing? Ye yathamam prapadyante tam sathaya bhajan. Krishna is offering them honor and respect to each one of them according to the relationship. There's a word here, yatha vidhi. Yatha vidhi, vidhivat. Just befitting, purport. The Supreme Personality of God Krishna here, the word yatha vidhi, or just as it behooves, is significant. Krishna reciprocates just as it behooves with his different types of admirers and devotees. Lord Krishna also reciprocates with such pure devotees just as it behooves, namely, he is always attentive to all the matters of his pure devotees. There are others who designate him as impersonal, and so Lord Krishna also does not take any personal interest in them. So because the impersonalists think that Krishna is impersonal, Krishna treats them impersonally, doesn't take personal interest. But for a bhakta, for a devotee, Krishna takes personal interest, like Ambarish Maharaj. Krishna took a personal interest. Prahavabhiva dana shlesha karasparsha smitekshanaih ashwasya chasvapa kebhyo varaischa bhimatayar vibhuhu. Almighty Lord Krishna greeted everyone present by bowing his head, exchanging greetings, embracing, shaking hands, looking and smiling, giving assurances and awarding benedictions, even to the lowest in rank. This is culture, my dear friends, to receive a respectable personality appropriately. And the respectable personality also reciprocates appropriately. I will share something with all of you. My Guru Maharaj, Radhanath Swami Maharaj, you might have noticed that he walks very slowly. Whenever he enters the assembly, he walks very slowly. He looks left, looks right, folds his hands like that. So once Maharaj, actually a devotee was telling me this, he asked Maharaj, just now when we had gone to Washington in July, he asked Maharaj, why do you walk so slowly when you enter assembly? So Maharaj told that many years ago, a devotee had complained to Maharaj that Maharaj, you didn't even look at me. You just walked past me. I was offering you pranams and you just walked, you didn't look at me. So Maharaj felt so bad that Maharaj vowed that I will walk very slowly and I will look left, look right, look at everyone, acknowledge them with folded hands. So Maharaj was telling that since then, I try to walk slowly, look left, look right, look at everyone and fold my hands. Very difficult because, our Guru Varga, Gurujans, they go to so many places. There are hundreds, thousands of devotees. How difficult it is to satisfy all of them, to acknowledge all of them. But that is the culture, that we acknowledge people, we make them feel welcome, we make them feel valued, we acknowledge them, offer them yatha vidhi, as it behooves, offer them respect. But unfortunately, in the Kali Yuga, in the modern times, this culture of respect is lacking. When Srila Prabhupada came to Harvard University, His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj tells this story. Srila Prabhupada gave a very nice presentation to the students of Harvard University, and Harvard University is the top university, isn't it? In the world, one of the top universities is Harvard University, Massachusetts. So what do you expect the student should be? The student should be top class. They should have proper culture. They should know the culture of respect. But who cares about respect in today's education system? It's all about IQ and test grades and GPA. Nobody looks at the moral values. And so Srila Prabhupada is at Harvard University and the student should be first class. Srila Prabhupada gave a nice presentation. And then the students, instead of receiving Srila Prabhupada respectfully, they were challenging him. One student told Srila Prabhupada, what is the value of this Krishna consciousness? You established the Krishna consciousness movement in America. What is the value of your Krishna consciousness movement? Look at the Russian Revolution. There was a problem. There was a Russian Revolution and it produced effect. It produced results. The Tsar was overthrown and there was a new government that came. It produced some tangible result, but what has your Krishna consciousness movement done? What is the value of your movement? So Srila Prabhupada asked that student, he was a student of history at Harvard University, social studies or history, something like that. Srila Prabhupada asked him, since the Russian Revolution, have the Russian people become truly happy? He was a student of social studies and he knew. He said, no, they are not happy. So Srila Prabhupada said, then what is the value of that Russian Revolution? But the Krishna consciousness movement is making the hippies into happies. That is the value. Like that. Srila Prabhupada was very loving, very broad-minded, very accommodating. Srila Prabhupada. The student challenged, hey, you're talking about God. Have you seen God with your own eyes? Srila Prabhupada was asked in Harvard University, have you seen God? So Srila Prabhupada replied, if I falsely tell you that I have seen God, will you believe me? The student didn't understand. He said, what? Srila Prabhupada repeated, can you verify Whether I say, yes, I have seen God, or no, I have not seen God, can you verify it? You cannot. So if I falsely tell you, I have seen God, will you believe me? The student said, no. Prabhupada said, then what is the value of your question? Why are you asking question? If I say, yes, I have seen God, can you verify? You will not believe. If I say, no, I have not seen God, I may have seen God, but I'll say, I have not seen God. Can you verify? You don't understand. So what is the value of this dumb question? Have you seen God? Anyway, you are not going to believe. So what is the value of such a silly question? So Prabhupada, when he said like that, there was dead silence in the assembly hall in Harvard University. And His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj was saying that I could understand that everybody is defeated. When there is silence, that means they are defeated. They are accepting. And His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj said that it appeared that everybody understood that they were in the presence of a very superior personality. Srila Prabhupada. They had never heard anybody speak like this. And this was the common feeling of people who met Srila Prabhupada. Respectable, learned people, when they would meet Srila Prabhupada, this is the impression they would get, that we are in the presence of a great Acharya. Her Grace Urmila Devi tells about her father visiting the ISKCON temple to meet Srila Prabhupada. So Her Grace Urmila Devi's father is sitting with Srila Prabhupada, and Urmila Devi is also there. And very matter-of-factly, father says to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, is it okay that I came to your ISKCON temple? Because I have not come to see you, or I have not come to see Krishna. I came to see my daughter and my son-in-law. So is it still okay? Because see, in some places of worship, you are not welcome if you don't follow their philosophy, if you don't believe in their path. So he wanted to ask that, is it okay if I still visit? Well, I have not come to see Krishna, or I have not come to see you. I actually came to meet my daughter and my son-in-law. Now see Srila Prabhupada's culture of respect. What did Srila Prabhupada reply? Srila Prabhupada replied, yes, you can come. It is very good that you have come. Your daughter, Urmila Devi, loves Krishna. And you love your daughter, Urmila Devi. So you love your daughter loves Krishna. When two things are equal to one, both things are equal. So you love your daughter loves Krishna, so you love Krishna. So it's good that you came. Now Urmila Devi is standing there and she's thinking, Prabhupada said, I love Krishna, Krishna Prem. I don't love Krishna, I'm just a new devotee. I don't love Krishna. She didn't say anything, but she thought like that. And Prabhupada is saying that I love Krishna, but honestly, I don't love Krishna. I'm not there yet. She didn't say anything, but she thought like that. And believe it or not, Srila Prabhupada could read the mind. Prabhupada had that siddhi. So many devotees have had experience like that. Immediately, Srila Prabhupada told Urmila Devi's father, your daughter is singing and dancing for Krishna. She's singing Krishna's names and she's dancing in front of Krishna. Prabhupada said, these are the symptoms of love. Anybody who is singing Krishna's names and anybody who is dancing, they are lovers of Krishna, because singing and dancing for someone is a sign of love. So immediately Urmila Devi was satisfied. Then Urmila Devi's father told Prabhupada. Prabhupada said that he told Urmila Devi that make sure your father gets prasad before he leaves, Krishna prasad. So Urmila Devi's father asked another question. Prabhupada, why are you so anxious to distribute Krishna prasad, your food, to visitors like me? You are so keen on giving me your food, but I don't even believe in your philosophy. I don't even believe in Krishna. So why are you so anxious to give me your food? Srila Prabhupada asked, so he said, I don't believe in Krishna. Prabhupada said, do you believe in infections? So Urmila Devi's father said, yes, of course, I believe in infections. Prabhupada said, if you eat food from the plate of someone who is suffering from cholera, will you get infected? He said, yes, I'll get infected. If you eat food from the plate of someone who is suffering from typhoid, will you get that infection? These are all enteral, fecal-enteral infections. They are transmitted through food and stool. So, will you get infected with typhoid? He said, yes, I'll get infected. Prabhupada said, similarly, if you eat Krishna's food, if you eat Krishna Prasad, you will get infected with Krishna consciousness. That's why we are anxious to give you Krishna Prasad. So then Urmila Devi's father was telling her that now I understand why you have joined Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada is a genuine holy man. He is very exalted. So that is the culture of respect. So here it is said that Krishna reciprocated with those who came to welcome him. Krishna greeted everyone present by bowing down his head, exchanging greetings, embracing, shaking hands, looking, smiling, giving assurances and awarding benedictions, even to the lowest in rank. To receive Lord Shri Krishna, there were all grades of population, beginning from Ugrasen Maharaj, Vasudev Maharaj, Garga Muni, etc. That is the father, grandfather, teacher, etc. Down to the prostitutes and the chandalas, who were accustomed to eating dogs. Chandal means one who eats dog meat. And every one of them was properly greeted by Lord Krishna in terms of rank and position. Yathavidhi. As pure living entities, all are the separated parts and parcels of Lord Krishna, and thus no one is alien by his eternal relationship. Whether we are a dog eater, Chandal, whether we are a prostitute, whether we are a king, a Brahman, we all have a relationship with Krishna. Whether we are animals, we all have a relationship with Krishna. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem. Such pure living entities are graded differently in terms of contamination of the modes of material nature. So the 8.4 million species of life, my dear friends, are not just based on physical morphology or the anatomical differences. Srila Prabhupada clearly writes. Living entities are graded differently in terms of contamination of the modes of material nature. Based on the contamination of modes of material nature, like trees, they are primarily in mode of ignorance. They are a different species. A human being is supposed to be very evolved. So it's a different species. So depending on the combination, permutation of different modes of material nature, we have different species. But Lord Krishna is equally affectionate to all his parts and parcels despite material gradation. Mamaya amsha jiva loka jiva bhuta sanatana. Samo aham sarva bhuteshu name dvektasthi na priya. No one is rejected by Lord Krishna for being accepted in the kingdom of God, and it remains with the living being to accept this or not. Krishna is willing to accept us. Now it depends on us whether we want to accept Krishna or not. That is the question. Okay, so it is 1 hour. I will stop here. We'll continue from verse number 23 tomorrow. So this week, I want to compensate for the lost class. So please bear with me. I know many of you may be busy. Even if you cannot attend in person, you can catch up with the recording. Or you can just read the verses and purport by Srila Prabhupada. You will not miss anything. You don't even have to hear the recording. But tomorrow we'll have a class, and then we'll have a class day after tomorrow also. So 3 sessions this week, so that we are good. There is no loss. So tomorrow same time, and then day after tomorrow same time. So we'll stop here. Granthra Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Yes, Shama Vallavi Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, is Rohini also daughter of Devaka only, Vasudev's wife? Because
Is
it's
Rohini
like-
daughter of? No. She's different. So Maharaj Devaka had 8 daughters. One of them was Devaki. All 8 were married to Vasudeva Maharaj. But Rohini was also married to Vasudeva Maharaj, but she comes from a different family.
Okay.
Not the daughter of Maharaj Devaka.
Okay, Prince. Hare
Rohini is
Krishna.
different.
Thank you, Prince.
Hare Krishna. Kirtida Sundari Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu, for this session. Prabhu, I have a question in verse number 16. It's about Ugrasena, and it is mentioned that his other name is Ahuka. So this Ahuka is the same Ahuka who
Looks
is
like
the
same, yes, Mataji. Yes.
father-in-law of Akrura.
Akrura, yes.
So can we just put them together? So that means Ugrasen was the father of Akrura, and Akrura was related to Kamsa, right? How? Okay, maybe I'm confusing myself.
No, so Ahuka is the father-in-law of Akrur because Ahuka's daughter was Sutani. Sutani was Akrur's wife. So Ahuka is father-in-law, and Ugrasen is cousin of Kunti Bhoj. Ugrasen's other name is Ahuka. So Ugrasen is the father-in-law of Akrur. And because see, there is a relationship between Krishna and Akrur. No? Akrur is the uncle.
Maternal uncle, yeah.
So does it match up?
Yeah, like.
If Akrur is the...
That's okay, Prabhu. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well,
No worries.
no worries.
I was confusing myself only.
No, it's okay. It's a good question, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare
Hare
Krishna and Dandavat Pranams.
Thank you. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Divya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I had 2 questions for both Krishna and Balram. When we say Krishna, he, the king was Ugrasen. So do we identify Krishna with his maternal dynasty? Because Vinci dynasty, it was Ugrasen was a king, and then so I don't understand the kind of a family lineage.
I didn't understand a question, Mataji. What is your question?
Like we take the last name of a father, right? Or when we are born. So now with Krishna, was it like he was identified by his maternal uncles? Because
no, Krishna is Vasudeva, the son of Vasudev. So,
but when we talk about a dynasty, because Ugrasen was a king, and Ugrasen becomes a maternal. It's from Devki's side, not Vasudev's side.
Right.
Yeah.
Vasudev was only the minister of Ugrasen. There was no blood relation like that. No, but see, Ugrasen is the king, and Krishna never became the king of Dwarka. He maintained Ugrasen as the king. And as far as dynasty is concerned, there were many dynasties living in Dwarka. Broadly, they are called the Yadus, but there was the Vrishnis, and there are so many other dynasties there. And together, they are all called as, the residents of Dwarka. So, I'm not sure how you're saying that Krishna was identified through Ugrasen.
No, like when we say Yadav.
So
is that like Devki's side or Vasudev's side?
I think it is Vasudev's side, but I have to see. I have to look at the whole chart from Yadu Maharaj. I have it somewhere saved, the whole genealogy. I will take a look at it and I will try to find answer to Kirtida Sundari Mataji's question also, whether it is same Ahuka and Yadu Maharaj, his descendant, I believe, is Vasudeva Maharaj, but I will confirm that.
Because I think the story, it was, I don't remember the exact names exactly. It was something to do with Shukracharya's daughter married to the king, and also Sharmishta and who was the other one? The two
Correct,
two girls.
Sharmishta and so Yayati Maharaj married Devyani and Sharmishta, correct?
Yes,
So
and
Devyani
one
was
of
the daughter of
them,
Shukracharya.
yeah.
And then I think Yadu refused to give his youth to Yayati Maharaj, although it was his father, because in his family, Krishna was going to appear. Correct?
Something like that. So that Yadu, like when we go back, so Yadu, did Vasudev appear in that?
That's what I feel, but let me confirm it.
Okay. And another question I had was about Balram's appearance. Now, Mother Rohini, like, she was pregnant with Balram, but she was living with Nand Maharaj. So didn't society think that, didn't they look at that, like, I mean, okay, the husband is in jail and she is with Nand Maharaj, and how is she pregnant? So weren't these questions raised? It was a secret. Nobody knew that this was the child of Devaki and Vasudev.
See, one thing is that Vasudev and Devaki were not continuously imprisoned. They were not continuously in the prison. When the eight children were born, subsequently, first they were free. They voluntarily came and gave the first child. Then Kansa said, "Oh no, you can go. You are free." Then like the Narad Muni came. Then again they were the lotus flower petal example was given. Anybody could be a child. So again they were imprisoned. So it was like that, and so it could have been possible that Rohini could have traveled from Gokul to Mathura and met, just like Nanda Maharaj. When Nanda Maharaj went to pay taxes in Mathura, he was able to meet Vasudeva and Devaki, isn't it? So it is possible that Rohini could also have gone and met, for people's understanding. But we know the secret that it was Devaki's pregnancy, and Yoga Maya transferred the seventh child from the womb of Devaki into the womb of Rohini on the order of Krishna. So your question is valid, but I have not seen anybody taking any objection or suspecting anything, for the simple reason that just like Nanda Maharaj could have went and was able to meet Vasudeva and Devaki, it is possible that Rohini could also have gone and met her husband and then come back to Vrindavan. Like that. I have not read of any objection. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Also, if Vasudev, if he was a minister, was he considered a Kshatriya?
Yes,
Because
Vasudeva is Kshatriya. Yes.
But Vidur was also a minister, but he is not considered Kshatriya. Vidur, he's not called, I don't know why there are difference.
Vidur, he was one of the ministers accepted by Maharaj Dhritarashtra. And your question is why Vidur was not a Kshatriya?
Yeah, I mean, Vidur he was always called like I think Sudputra, I don't remember what. He appeared to a Shudra.
Sudputra was Karna.
Karna, yeah, right. But he was not. Was
No,
Vidur,
Vidur, as far as I know, he had more Brahminical tendencies, and therefore he was accepted as one of the advisors. He was knower of religion, so he had more Brahminical tendencies, being a son of Vyasadeva. But because he was born from the womb of a Shudrani, a Shudra woman, he was not in the role of a king or a Kshatriya. Whereas his other two brothers, Maharaj Pandu and Maharaj Dhritarashtra, because they were born from the womb of Kshatriya women, Ambika and Ambalika, they were treated as Kshatriyas. They became kings. But Vidur, because he was born from the womb of a Shudrani, he was not. But his tendencies are Brahminical, so he did Brahminical work. He was an advisor to the king. He would advise about dharma. Is it okay?
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering why Vasudev, if he is a minister, how is he, Kshatriya? Because it's the same thing, right? Vidur is also a minister, and even he was a minister.
So ministers are of different types, Mataji. Like in modern times, Akbar, one of his ministers was Tansen. He was a musician. So the advisors can be of different types. There are Kshatriya advisors also, like Bhishma Dev also was an advisor of Dhritarashtra. And Vidur had more Brahminical tendencies. And sometimes some Brahmanas also may fight. Like Dronacharya was a Brahman, but he fought. Bhishma Dev was a pure Kshatriya, pure blood Kshatriya. Similarly, Vasudev Maharaj also was a pure blood Kshatriya. So, because he was a Kshatriya, even though he was a minister, he was in the role of a Kshatriya. So, he's treated as a Kshatriya. Some ministers may be Brahminical. Their service may be Brahminical. So, like that. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shamchandra Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for your very nice and lucid class. Prabhu, I had two questions. One, of course, the same as what Kirtida Sundari Mataji had asked. So we'll wait for the...
I will get back on that genealogy. Even the first question that was asked was about genealogy only. I forgot. What was the first question? Who asked the first question?
Prabhuji, I asked Prabhuji regarding Rohini and...
Is Rohini daughter of
Devaka?
So all genealogy questions, I'll get back on that.
And my second question is, Prabhu, in the verse 22, in the purport, last line. This statement seems to be quite simple and easy, but I think it's got a deeper meaning. No one is rejected by the Lord from the kingdom of God, and it remains with the living being to accept this or not. So on one hand here, as I understood, is that when we go back to Godhead, kingdom of God means going back to Godhead, the Lord will never reject you. And we also understand that once we go back to Godhead, we don't fall down. So, and then the second part of this statement is, it remains with the living being to accept this or not. So, this part I'm just, trying to understand, because once we go back, I mean, the living being has gone back, where is the question of not accepting it? You have
so here,
all this.
So I will rephrase that sentence.
Okay.
Look at the sentence. No one is rejected by Lord Krishna from being accepted in the kingdom of God.
Okay.
And it is up to the living being to accept this or not.
So accepting that means accepting
the fact that everybody is welcome in the kingdom of God. Nobody is disqualified, nobody is barred. It is up to the living being to accept this or not. Because Prabhupada here is saying that despite different material gradations, everyone can attain Krishna. That is the theme of the purport. So it's up to the living entity to accept this or not. Because some may give excuses, oh, I cannot do bhajan, I am a meat eater. Oh, I cannot do bhajan, I am low caste. But actually, everybody can do bhakti. Okay, Prabhu?
Okay, it's clear, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Bhakti Prada Mataji? Last question.
Prabhuji, hello. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, my question is, did Krishna also have last name? Because normally we see, we all have, normally it is their last name will be there. So do Krishna also have, he has so many names, but he also have last name too.
Last name. Surname?
Surname.
I don't know. Yadav? I don't know, Mataji. Surname. Krishna is, I don't know. I don't know. Last name. Did they use last name in that time? I don't think Radharani has a last name either.
Vishwanu Nandini, they say, right? Father's name is there.
Vrishabhanu Nandini is Radharani's name. Vrishabhanu is father's name. So similarly, Krishna is Devaki Nandan. Yashoda Dulal.
For everyone, Krishna, they call for it with everyone. All last name is mothers as well as fathers. Everyone's is there for Krishna. But yes.
But what?
Yeah, I was telling like Yashodanandan Krishna and Devaki Nandan Krishna and with everyone Krishna they add. Is it their last name only, Prabhuji, then?
Mataji, I don't know. I don't know if they use last name the way we use it.
Might be it was not there.
So I don't know. Okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Ramsham Prabhu, last question.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, from the purport, Prabhu, I was trying to establish, that the genealogy we were talking about, the Kitra Sundari Mataji's question, like Akrura relation with the Vasudeva Krishna. So how it is like, so if we see that Ugrasen other name is Ahuka, right? And his daughter is Sutani, and Sutani husband is Akrura, and Ahuka son is Kansa, right? Ugrasen, his other name is Ugrasen. So both Akrura and Kansa become cousin in this way.
Brother-in-law.
Yeah, brother-in-law. So on that relation, one means if we take in that way, Vasudeva Krishna is one grandson of Ugrasen. So grandson of Ugrasen, that means the Kansa is the maternal uncle of Krishna, and same way Akrura is the maternal uncle of Krishna.
Okay, yeah.
So I have just written here that just the same hierarchy I've made from the Prabhupada purport. I'm not sure.
Yeah. You wrote in the chat box?
No, Prabhu. I have written on my notebook.
Notebook. Okay, theek hai.
Yeah.
No problem. Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing that. Okay?
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
So Devaki, so yes, Prabhuji, so Devaki, Kamsa, Sutani are all cousin brothers and sisters.
Devaki, Sutani,
and Kamsa.
they are
Devaki is the
cousins.
son of...
Because Devaka and Ugrasen are brothers, no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Devaka's daughter is Devaki. Apparently, Ugrasen's daughter is who?
Sutani.
Because Ahuka. Yeah.
So Krishna's
Jaya
uncle.
Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan, Shama Kunda, Radha Kunda, Giri Govardhan, Kalindi Jamuna, Jaya Jaya Mahavan. But I'll find out about this genealogy.
Prabhuji, I think Sutani and Kamsa seem to be real brother and sister because they were both children of Ugrasen, right?
Yeah, if this is the same Ahuka. Yeah.
Okay.
All of you are so interested in Dwarka. Jai ho. Theek hai. So we are Brajvasis. So, but I will find out the genealogy, okay? These are all good questions. I will look at the genealogy. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare